A manhunt is underway following a home invasion that took place in McDowell County last night. The sheriff's office says they are searching for 41-year-old Ryan Houston. News 13's Taylor Thompson is live at the sheriff's office now. And Taylor, what do we know?
Well, Tammy, we actually just found out there was a passenger in the car with Houston last night when it crashed. Local and state law enforcement are all searching for him after the crash. A home invasion and multiple car thefts were all reported overnight. Authorities are asking everyone to be on the lookout for a navy blue 2016 Chevy Silverado truck they believe Houston may be traveling in. The words Skyline Marine, Honda, and Bass Cat are on the back glass. The North Carolina Highway Patrol confirms that Houston was involved in a crash along I-40 just after 10:15 p.m. last night. Troopers say the car crashed into a tractor trailer near Parker Padgett Road and that Houston then fled the scene and, quote, other crimes occurred. The sheriff's office said this morning that Houston is also the suspect in a McDowell County home invasion that happened just before midnight last night. Deputies say he forced his way into the home, assaulted the homeowner, and stole a gun and vehicle. That car was found on I-40 near exit 90. It's believed that Houston then broke into Skyline Marine and stole the Chevy Silverado truck. And the sheriff's office says that Houston is armed and very dangerous. If you see him, do not approach, but immediately call 911. We are working to speak with the sheriff's office, and we'll have the latest information for you as we get it. Live in McDowell County, I'm Taylor Thompson, News 13.
And Houston has been in and out of the jail in the last year with an even longer history of domestic trouble. In May of 2023, he was charged with shooting a Buncombe County deputy in the magistrate's office. News 13's Gracie Matisse is bringing us more context from the live desk.
Yeah, Tammy, good afternoon. Court documents show Ryan Houston's history of violence, substance use, and death threats. We're digging through his long history of court dates and jail time to put this case in perspective for you. Documents show Ryan Houston's wife, Laura, filed domestic protective orders against her husband in 2020, 2022, and 2023. Those documents also state Houston used fentanyl and abused prescription drugs. On May 7th of last year, court records show Laura was filing a protective order with a magistrate when Ryan entered the Buncombe County jail and shot a deputy. He was then charged with attempted first-degree murder and assault, inflicted serious bodily injury, among other charges. After that shooting, we spoke to the Buncombe County Sheriff about the incident.
Mr. Houston had bad intentions. People coming, going inside the magistrate office. This could have, again, been more people in danger, including the magistrates that work there.
Well, the deputy who was shot filed a civil lawsuit against Houston. Houston was taken back into custody in April of last year for 11 counts of pretrial release violations. He was released on bond for a second time. And now we're asking the question, after this history of violent and domestic incidents, why was Houston released on bond for a second time? Well, we're working to get those answers for you, and we'll have more tonight at 5 and 6 on News 13.
Our investigative team followed up on Houston's criminal record. Court records reveal Houston has a history of violence going back 23 years. In 2011, he was convicted of assault in Buncombe County and given probation. A 2006 conviction for assaulting a female and false imprisonment led to community service and probation. Houston was also convicted of assault in 2001.
And Houston was out on bond for the 2023 charges involving the shooting of a deputy when the Highway Patrol attempted to pull him over last night.
And take a look, News 13's Kimberly King is continuing our team coverage for us. And Kim, you've been digging into his record all day long.
That's right. His bond was set at $1.6 million with a total of 11 pending criminal charges in Buncombe County. We've learned from court records that he posted collateral using his own property. 41-year-old Ryan Ricky Houston, court records show, lives near Weaverville. In addition to the pending trial alleging he shot and tried to kill a sheriff's deputy, records show felony, breaking and entering, possession of a stolen firearm, and allegations of child abuse all pending. Defense attorney Steve Lindsay isn't his attorney but explains what bond's about.
To make sure that they show up for court, right? And that they are not a danger to the community.
News 13 last year reported details of domestic violence records that allege Houston was a ticking time bomb, a raging alcoholic, and prescription drug abuser. Records stated he owns a landscape business. Houston, News 13 confirmed, used his properties to post bond.
Let's say you have a $1.6 million bond.
Which he had.
Which he had. If he has property that's worth that much, he can put his property up, which appears to be part of what he did, or maybe all of what he did in this case.
Houston, according to court records, last August was released pre-trial with an electronic monitor after a violation. His bond raised to $2.7 million, but later dropped back down to $1.6 million that he posted. That argument by District Attorney Todd Williams' office was that Houston should be held for the attempted murder of an officer case without bond. To protect the community and ensure public safety, the DA's office last year objected to Mr. Houston's initial bond reduction motion. The DA's office previously filed a motion to revoke Houston's bond last August. The motion was denied by the court, and Houston was allowed to continue on an electronic monitoring program out of custody. With a history of alleged domestic violence, we learned at the courthouse that Houston's wife filed for divorce this June, and that divorce is pending. We learned that from the clerk tonight. Houston's attorney, local Asheville attorney Thomas Ambergy, tonight had no comment. Of course, investigators are seeking any kind of leads to bring Houston in and get him arrested. Reporting live from Asheville, Kimberly King, News 13.
We are following breaking news tonight. News 13 has confirmed one of the drivers killed in a fiery crash last night on I-26 was retired Marshall Police Chief Michael Boone. Sources tell News 13 the crash may be tied to the search for fugitive Ryan Houston, who's been on the run since Thursday. It'll take several days to make a positive ID on the driver. Troopers say they were called to investigate the crash near the Mars Hill exit around 11 o'clock last night. Now, the North Carolina Highway Patrol says that driver collided head-on with another car after driving in the wrong direction on I-26. Kimberly King has been following this story for us and brings us the latest.
The gates are now open at 41-year-old Ryan Ricky Houston's home in rural Weaverville. Earlier today, there were multiple sheriff's deputy cars out here in front of his home. It says Houston residents, and also multiple cameras out here, along with signs to beware of dogs. News 13 rolled up just before 7 p.m. at Houston's large property along Ellerford Road, where 3 sheriff's deputies were parked. A 4th deputy also pulled up, but they stayed outside Houston's locked gates. Multiple police sources tell News 13 Ryan Houston, charged with attempted murder last year and car thefts and a home invasion this week, is believed to be the driver speeding down I-26 in the wrong direction in a white stolen sports car, colliding with the other car.
We do not know exactly where he got on the interstate going the wrong direction, but we believe it was the 9-mile marker. There was one witness that he passed them about the 10-mile marker, and then they saw the collision happen behind them.
The sergeant with Highway Patrol said investigators spoke with the medical examiner, who said an autopsy will be done in days to determine the driver's identity. In Houston's neighborhood, residents knew him as an unstable, volatile man. Investigators confirm a woman was found in one of Houston's vehicles with severe injuries, but authorities have not released her condition. One of Houston's neighbors who spoke on the condition we would not use his name said that he was known to terrorize the neighborhood, often doing shooting practice on this compound despite complaints over and over from neighbors. Reporting from near Weaverville, Kimberly King, News 13.
We're learning new information tonight from troopers about that crash in Madison County that killed 2 people. These images were sent in by a News 13 viewer who saw the crash on Friday night. Sources say it may have involved Ryan Houston, a wanted fugitive who's been on the run from authorities since Thursday night. We're waiting on a positive ID from the medical examiner to confirm that. News 13 has confirmed the other person killed was retired Marshall Police Chief Mike Boone. Boone just retired on Wednesday. And WLOS has been following this tragedy since we broke the story. News 13's Justin Berger continues our coverage tonight with new information from troopers and a witness who drove by that crash scene on Friday night.
La mitad del carro.
The sports car was completely burned. The truck was just burnt, no tires.
Jordy Michwa-Cerrone, his wife Vicky, who is translating for us, and their 3 children were driving home from his sister's house just before 1 a.m. Saturday when they witnessed this.
I saw police, firefighters, and I saw 2 cars that were burned, and just both sides of the highway were closed.
A day and a half later, it still smells like gasoline near mile marker 11 on I-26 westbound.
The stolen vehicle was the 2019 Jaguar, and you can see this burnout space right in the middle of the I-26. That's where it came to rest.
Morgan says Highway Patrol believes the stolen Jaguar got on at mile marker 9, and then
a Ford pickup truck, 2019 Jaguar. At the last second, the Ford pickup truck ran off the road to the left to try to avoid. The Jaguar struck the Ford pickup truck, made a slight turn, came to rest on I-26, and the Ford pickup truck was on the left side of I-26.
We know one of the people killed in this crash was recently retired Marshal Chief of Police Mike Boone.
I think it's very sad because he had just retired and he was well known in his community, and nobody expects that to happen, especially your loved one.
Sergeant Morgan says autopsies will take place in Winston-Salem in the coming days to ID the other person killed in this crash. That determination is expected midweek. We have reached out to the Buncombe County Sheriff's Office and the McDowell County Sheriff's Office for confirmation of 2 pieces of critical information. Both have been unresponsive since 5 p.m. on Friday. In Mars Hill, Justin Berger, News 13.